Hello, ciao, buonasera, buongiorno, come va? Hello everybody out there, how are you? I hope all is good, I hope all is fabulous and you're looking forward to Christmas. My name is Dino Veruca and what I'm doing today is talking about what's just been released, which is the fantastic, incredibly awesome McCartney 7-inch singles box. You have heard about it, I'm sure, and there's only 3,000 made. There's 80 singles in it. Is there 80 singles? Yes, I believe there is 80 singles. I forgot already. It's an incredible box set, so I'm going to run through it, but I'm just going to run through the 70s today. So here's the lid of it. There's the lid. It comes in a lovely wooden crate and it's got foam in there to protect it, but mine still got broke. So I'm not happy it's broke, but let's see what happens when I moan and complain. Anyway, here's the box, a nice solid wooden crate box. There's only 3,000 made, and as you can see, the number on there is 2611. It's nice, solid box. I think I read somewhere it's made from redwood pine. It says 7 because there's 7 up that way. Here's the inside of it. It's a box, but it's a nice sturdy wooden crate. Well, supposedly sturdy. Mine isn't because it's broken. It's not the end of the world, but they're not cheap, so I will not be accepting it. And you get these lovely straps. You know, like in a cargo hold on a plane, they get straps around boxes and everything. You got those that hold it all together. So that's the box. You also get a stunning book. Absolutely beautiful book. Was it 148 pages? 150 if you count the back spines. So, and it goes through the list of all the, there's an introduction by Paul talking about when he liked his singles, mainly talking about 7-inch vinyl records, about his early days in Liverpool and when he used to get them. And then there's some great stories later on as well in the 70s. So here the detailed release dates and everything on the singles that come out, different sleeves from around the world. It's a beautiful book. It goes all the way from the 70s right up to Women and Wives, which was released on Record Store Day. So that's that. As I say, today I'm just going to be covering the 70s. Now in the box set, there's 29 singles from the 70s. So it's definitely Paul's busiest and most prolific period. It's incredible. 29 singles. So we're going to start off with the records. By the way, I have got a Facebook page called Paul McCartney Group 3000, which is just for people that have bought the box set. I know everyone can't afford that, and I know some people missed out, but it's just for those that have got the box set to talk about it, maybe share photos of what number they've got, because inside each one you do get a beautiful 7-inch test pressing, unique. So every box set will have a different box set. Different box set will have a different 7-inch test press. Now mine, I want to show you that first. Mine, when I was thinking what one would I like to get, I was thinking silly love songs, or I would like to have had Sing the Changes or Coming Up, all which are quite special to me. So I was very, very happy, or blessed, or divine intervention. But anyway, I got Silly Love Songs as the 7-inch test pressing. There's no writing on it, and it is double-sided, so you got Silly Love Songs backed there with Cook of the House, a great song by Linda that makes you hungry when you hear it. Ho, ho, ho. So each box set has got 7-inch test pressing as well. So on to the 70s. I don't know if you're aware, but I'll just explain a bit more about the box set. There's artwork from 11 countries. 15 singles were never released on 7-inch, but they previously released on 12-inch or on picture disc, CD singles, promos, digital downloads, and there's 2 previously unheard demos and a 7-inch single edit. As I say, this specially wooden art crate is made of redwood pine and birch ply, but you probably knew that. As I say, there's a 148 page book, which is fantastic, with a foreword by Paul and an essay by music journalist Rob Sheffield. Very, very interesting. We're talking about 7-inch records. But inside there you get an extensive chart info, line notes, plus obviously saw lots of the artwork for the singles. But most impressively is the exclusive, as I say, 7-inch test pressing. I don't know if I'm happy I got to see Love Songs. I know someone else got My Valentine. Did I hear somebody else say I got My Love? There'll be a big collector's market for these 7 inches. You watch. Okay, we're just doing the 70s today because there's a lot to get through on these. So single number 1, and this is where it all kicks off. Another Day, backed with Oh Woman, Oh Why. So this is a non-album single that was released by Paul. And I'll show you the record as well. But what is lovely on here, it says Another Day was written by Mr. and Mrs. McCartney. Cute, isn't it? On the flip side, you've got the Apple as well. Very, very nice to see this. This reached number 2 in the United Kingdom and number 5 in the United States of America. Non-album single. I don't think it was on an album, actually, until Wings Greatest. So you had to wait, when that came out, 8 years, wasn't it? 7 years even. My maths isn't that great. Okay, so the second track, Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey. This is pressed as a US mono promo release. Now this hit number 1 in America, and did it win Grammy of the Year for technicality on the 7-inch single off the Ram album. That came out in May 1971, but this wasn't issued in the United Kingdom. I don't believe it was issued in Europe either. So it's a lovely sleeve. And there's another thing, my sleeve is damaged as well there. It wasn't me, it was like that when I took it out. So I'll be moaning about that. Oh, I've got a lot of moans. No, I haven't. It's all very, very positive. The box set is great. And with these sleeves, you know the old Apple sleeves, they're like paper. These aren't. These are nice, thick card. So they shouldn't get damaged, even though I've got a damaged one. Single number 3. This is Back Seat of My Car. Didn't do very good in the UK at all. Number 39. That's on Parlophone Apple R5914. So you've got that there. Back Seat of My Car. Backed with Heart of the Country. One sheep gonna give me a good night's sleep. So did you get the box set? Have you got the promo single, the test pressing, or didn't you want to bother with it? I understand it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and here we are in 2022. It's hard times. Okay, so Wings single now. Now we're moving on to Love Is Strange and I Am Your Singer from the Wildlife album. This was supposed to be released as a single. I had a catalogue number as well of 5932, but it got cancelled. Why did it get cancelled? Give Ireland Back to the Irish. That's why. As I say, these singles, these sleeves are nice thick card. And now the next one here, number 5, is Give Ireland Back to the Irish, with those lovely shamrocks, and on the B side you got the instrumental one, which they call version, so the opposite way around, but you get the idea. So that come out in February 72, due to the tragic events what happened over in Ireland. I'm not going to get political, but that's, as I say, Give Ireland Back to the Irish was the lovely little shamrocks. Paul had a big argument with Apple. They, on the Wildlife album, they wanted to put the Apple on the sleeves, you know, on the record label inside. Paul argued, wanted a picture of him and Linda, and for that he had to argue to get the shamrocks put on. So Give Ireland Back to the Irish. Not, I don't think, the greatest song at all. Did I tell you where it got to? It got to UK, it got to number 16. It got to number 1 in Ireland and Spain. In America, it got to number 21. Give Ireland Back to the Irish. Single number 6, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Lovely little artwork on this. They're from old paintings. When does it say? They're from 1929, these beautiful little paintings. And obviously, Paul and Linda had a little, well, they had Heather. Linda had Heather by her first marriage. But Paul and Linda had Mary, bless them. And I often wonder if that's what influenced them. I guess it did. Plus, Paul's mother was called Mary. So that's Mary Had a Little Lamb and Little Woman Love. I got a woman I could really love in nice, thick sleeves. There's nothing on the spine to say what the track is. That would have been nice, but what do you want for £10,000? Well, they didn't cost that much, did they? Mary Had a Little Lamb come out in May 72. UK, it got to number 9. US 28. People say he wrote that because Give Ireland got back to the Irish. Paul says there's a load of rubbish because he'd written that before Give Ireland Back to the Irish. It's just another myth. Track number 7, Wings, High, 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 and Sea Moon. This is a Belgian sleeve. You didn't actually get Sea Moon on an album. Again, it's non-album tracks, isn't it? Sea Moon wasn't on the album until All the Best, and High, High, High was on Wings' Greatest and Wingspan. This got to number 1 in Spain, number 5 in the UK, and number 10 in the US of A. Look at that apple. Isn't that cool how that apple is? If you look at that apple there, it's different kind of writing, isn't it? I like that. I remember hearing Sea Moon as a kid. So it came out at Christmas. When did it come out? December 72. And it always reminds me I was, what, 6 years old at Christmas. I never knew who they were, but Sea Moon's such a kind of childish sing-along song, isn't it? Track number 8. I'm just going to move my notes over here. I can't remember all this, you know. So track number 8 we've got here. My Love, back with The Mess. R5985. This is a cover from Israel. Beautiful cover, isn't it? I really, really like this. That came out in March 73. This got to number 9 in the UK, and in the USA it got to number 1. Paul was selling more single records in the States than he was in the United Kingdom. That was his second number 1. You want to check out the Italian sleeve if you can on internet or somewhere, because the Italian sleeve I think is much better. It's quite funky. Track number 9. Live and Let Die. What was important about this was it was Roger Moore's first film as James Bond, taking over from Sean Connery, and they wanted something big, so they got former Beatle, he used to be in a band, and former Quarryman member Paul McCartney to do it. This was released in June 73. It got to number 9 in the United Kingdom, and it got to number 2 in Canada, Norway, and another country which I can't even remember. It got to number 5 in Australia, US number 2. There we go. Of course, this single wasn't on an album for years and years until till Wings' Greatest come out, but you could buy the soundtrack. It's a gorgeous cover, isn't it? And look at that as well. Picture sleeves, eh? So here's the cover, standard apple, and then you've got I Lie Around on the B-side, which looks like it's not printed on it properly. Maybe that's how it originally was. I do not know. It's so great to have these singles and play them. So many of them never in picture sleeve. In the UK, you hardly got any picture sleeves at all in the 70s, especially in the early 70s. Right, track number 10, Helen Wheels, released in October 73, UK number 12, US number 10. This was written about the Land Rover they have on their land. And this is backed with You and I, Country Dreaming. There's a lot of songs around the early 70s, say like from 70 to 73, 74, where Paul has written a lot of songs about the country and horses and sheep. It's like, I'm surprised he didn't become a farmer. Farmer McCartney here. Not Father Mackenzie, Farmer McCartney. Farmer McCartney shears his rams and sheep in the fields where he lives. Nobody gives. I should be a songwriter. Track number, single number 7. Jet. Ooh, what a great track. It's about his pony. It's not about a dog. It's about a pony that they had called Jet. This was released in February 74, number 7 in the UK and the US, number 2 in New Zealand. What else? Apparently the Carpenters like this song very, very much, and they rang up Paul to say they like it. The Carpenters, calling occupants of interplanetary. Carpenters were a great band. I know not everyone's cup of tea, but then everyone doesn't like tea. I don't even know what that means. You want to check out the Italian cover for Jet. Is it Italian cover? No, Swedish cover for Jet. I can see why they didn't put the Swedish cover in, because it's a bit naughty. So we've got Jet there with Let Me Roll It on the B-side. It's a beautiful cover again. So this is that's a German issue of the sleeve, that is. I've been going all through these last night, checking that they all play okay, and it's a good excuse to play them. I've never played so many singles in my life. Track number, what are we up to? I don't know, I've just done Live and Let Die. Did I just do Helen Wheels? No, I didn't. I did Helen Wheels. I don't know what I'm doing. And I've had a drink today. Well, I've had a coffee. and some orange juice. Okay, track number 12, Band on the Run, US number 1, UK number 3. This is backed with 1985, which to me should have been released as a single as well. This is a German sleeve. This was massive around the world. It also got to number 1 in Canada, New Zealand, and South Africa. It got to number 2. So the title track of the Ultimate Wings album, I suppose, Band on the Run, with Paul, Linda, and Denny recording in Lagos, and Paul had his tape stolen. He got mugged. It was a McCartney mugging. Where are those tapes? I wonder if they're still out there. Have you got the McCartney tapes? Okay, so you've got Band on the Run there. That's a German one, backed with 1985. You know, a lot of people say Ram's the best McCartney album. I played Band on the Run the other day, and there's something superiorly, is there such a word as superiorly produced. Stunning album. Should have failed, shouldn't it? Paul, Linda and Denny in Africa. Paul collapses, he gets mugged and everything. Tapes get taken. But, you know, in adversity, you create positivity. It's a good saying, isn't it? Track number 13. Leave Me Alone, Mrs. Vanderbilt. This is a Dutch sleeve. This track wasn't performed live, can you believe it, Mrs. Vanderbilt, until 2008 in the Ukraine. And the reason it got played in the Ukraine was they did a poll online for what track for Paul to play. I think it's the bass, dum, 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 down in the jungle, living in the bass is incredible. Look at that, on the back, you could cut the back of this sleeve. You're really going to cut the back of this sleeve for a jukebox. So you've got Mrs. Vanderbilt and Bluebird with a marvellous Howie Casey playing saxophone on it. So an apple there, standard apple. Bluebird. Band on the Run's just phenomenal, isn't it? They could have released most tracks off the album. I didn't say actually, those, you may be aware that in America, Helen Wheels was on the Band on the Run album. In the UK, it wasn't released on the UK album. I prefer it not on it. You know when you grew up listening to an album, if you buy another version, it's got something there. It just breaks it up. It's wrong. But then you got Capitol, you've got Apple, and they say people's buying tastes in the United States are different from the UK. And who am I to tell them? And where are we on to now? We're on to Junior's Farm, song number 14, single number 14. This is from, I don't know where this sleeve's from. Belgium. This is from Belgium. This is come out in October 74, so that's Junior's Farm and Sally G. UK number 16, US number 3. That's upside down. It also got to number 3 in New Zealand, number 10 in Canada, and 12 in Australia. Just take me down to Junior's Farm. I love this. I love the video. Apple's upside down now. It's quite weird, this apple, because look, I've got the apple there with the track Junior's Farm on. You flip it round, and normally the apple's the right way round, but it's the upside down, wrong way up, if that makes sense. So that's Sally G, and they call her Sally G. Yeah, I love the where Wings are doing Junior's Farm. You've got I nearly forgot his name, Jeff Britton on drums and Jimmy McCulloch in the band. I've always said this, how important Jimmy McCulloch was to the sound of Wings, given that hard rock edge. Jimmy McCulloch, bless him, loved his guitar playing with Wings. Absolutely phenomenal. And I've said this before, I'd rather have seen Wings than the Beatles. Couple of reasons. One, the Beatles only played about 20 minutes or 25, and there'd be loads of screaming girls going, Ringo, Paul, George, John, or Pete in the early days. So you got 20 or 25 minutes to see the Beatles. If you could see them, people were throwing jelly babies and you were getting hit by jelly babies and everything. Wings, what are you looking at? Hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. Wow. And you could hear some. The sound was better, the lights. The difference between the 60s concerts and 70s was phenomenal. So yeah, I'd rather seen that band. Just to recap, this is Dino Vegetable on I'm not on Facebook, on YouTube. I've got a Facebook Coming Up group. It's for Paul McCartney called Coming Up. It's clever, isn't it? So come and join us. I've also got an exclusive club called Paul McCartney Group 3000, which is for just for people who have got this box. So we can talk about our boxes, where in the world they are, collate where the numbers are, find out who's got the boxes around the world, what test pressings they've got, and if they've got anything that's gone funny or strange. Now, I've got this as well that came inside it, which is nice. It's a printed sheet with listing all the singles. Now, a few people said that they haven't got this, and if you read that, it says made in France. There's a lot of information here, isn't it? But thank you for joining us. Please leave comments. Please subscribe, because I want to do more videos. And as I say, this is just the 7-inch singles, but just the 1970s, which covers 70, 79, even though Paul didn't release a single in 1970. Next track here, Listen to What the Man Said, from the cracking Venus and Mars album. This came out in May 75, another US #1. It had several #1s now, Paul. It was, I don't know if his sales were eclipsing Beatles, I don't think they were, but it was incredible. Because you have to think, really, Paul could have, finished the Beatles, started solo, and flopped. He could have. I think for 1 or 2 years, everyone missed the Beatles and they wanted to buy all their stuff. But then sales in the mid-70s kind of dropped away for the other solo Beatles, but not Paul. Paul's actually increased. I think he was a slow burner, but boy, did he deliver when he got his mojo and vibe back. So this, as I say, Listen to What the Man Said. This got to number 4 in Ireland, number 3 in Norway, and only number 46 in Japan. What's going on, Japan? What is wrong with you? This is not, by the way, it's an Australian sleeve. So Listen to What the Man Said. Do 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 do. On Capitol, and on the B-side, I can see the places that we used to go to now. On here, what I like here as well, I don't know if you can see, it says from the album Venus and Mars, McCartney, it says Castle Eastman. I've never noticed that on anything before. Castle Eastman. So is that the publishing company? And is that Lee Eastman that represented Paul? Let me know, because I don't know. I've never seen it on a single. Collecting singles, I only started collecting really in 1980, and then buying all the singles from previous years. And so I only had the British singles, and obviously in America a lot were on Capitol, around the world on different labels and everything, different sleeves. So I think the UK ones were quite boring, to tell the truth. Not the records, but the sleeves, just the standard sleeve, or you might get the odd one saying Wings on it or something. So it's brilliant to see these sleeves from across the universe. I haven't written numbers next to it. This is number 16, and this is Oh, I Feel Like Letting Go. So we've got Letting Go there, come out in September 75, UK number 41, US number 39. This is a German sleeve, and this is one of the few tracks that Jeff Britton is actually drumming on from the Venus and Mars sessions. Jeff Britton didn't stay with Wings long, but he plays on the Venus and Mars. He plays on Loving Song, Medicine Jar, and Letting Go. So there's the A side. And on this as well, what you've got here, let's get this the right way. So you've got Listen to What the Man Said and Letting Go. I got them around the wrong way. But on here, you've got the times of how long they last. I would like that on all the singles, to know how long a single lasts, because some of the singles are edited, which actually, that's a good link on to the next track, which is the title track from the incredible 1975 album. I'm sure you've all got it. If you haven't got Venus and Mars, why haven't you got it? You must have that album. So there we go, on to Venus and Mars, number 17, back with Rock Show. This is an edited version. I'll have a look a minute and see how long it lasts for. This didn't do well, really. It didn't chart in the UK. 75 in the UK, sorry, and number 12 in the US. Look at that, though. This is a Belgian sleeve. Can you imagine having that on your bedroom wall in 1975? It's almost like fantasy superhero figures and everything coming to life on your bedroom wall. So here we go. We got Venus and Mars Rock Show on Capitol, backed with Magneto Entertainian Man. Magneto Entertainian Man still is my favourite track on Venus and Mars. I know it's cheesy and poppy. I just love the track. But on here, you have got the times as well. Venus and Mars stroke Rock Show is 3:45, and Magneto Entertainian Man's 3:16. So it's a big edit on the Venus and Mars Rock Show. What a way to start those concerts in 75 and 76. Red lights, green lights, strawberry wine. A good friend of mine follows the stars. That was Venus and Mars anyway. And the next one, Silly Love Songs. Wings, Silly Love Songs. Come out in April 76. Again, another #1 for Paul. and Wings #1, UK #2. This is a French sleeve, and if you look close at it, you can see you got Wings. You may have seen a photo before where they're holding the banner up saying Silly Love Songs, but if you look at the back wall, it's the Berlin Wall. I've never seen this picture before. This is French singles from The Speed of Sound. This is the top-selling US single of 1976. It was #1 in Canada, #9 in Norway, #28 in New Zealand. What's going on, New Zealand? This deserves #1. It's Silly Love Songs. Germany, it got to #14. It was #1 in Ireland. And there's the back of the sleeve. You can see there the Wings at the Speed of Sound album cover. I'm sorry if this makes you want to buy it now. So here we go. But that's nice, isn't it? Speed of Sound, but on a dark kind of brown. With someone up the ladder putting the letters up. Just see, it hasn't got the times on here. And then you've got it backed with Cook of the House, salt, pepper. Linda lists all the cooking ingredients. It makes you hungry when you hear it. God bless you, Linda. Next track, Let 'Em In. Paul's on a super roll with being 74 to 76. It was nearly everything he released was massive, but Letting Go didn't do well. But then, or Venus and Mars. But I think so many people have bought the album and listened to what the man said was big. And one thing, what was I going to say that I think, did he do it on here? Cook of the House? I've lost my train of thought here. I think it was a failure and a mistake to put a B-side, which was already on the album. So if you're going to buy a single and you're a fan, you want something different on the B-side. I remember Paul used to say, you always give value for money. Well, something will be on the B-side, which isn't on the album. But it didn't happen with a lot of Wings tracks. There's loads of B-sides which were on the albums. I guess he was busy touring and didn't have time to record stuff. Busy Mr. McCartney. And he still don't stop. The man, does he ever sleep? Does he ever sleep? Do you? Not if you play all these singles, you won't sleep. Next track, Let 'Em In, released in July 76. A UK #2, a US #3. Australia only got to 65. Crikey, Coa, why do you buy it down under? I don't know what's going on there. If I was you, Paul, I wouldn't go and play in Australia because they didn't buy Let 'Em In. No, he has toured in Australia. I know, not a lot, but obviously he's still very, very big in fact. Probably big around the world. Anyway, so this is Let 'Em In. This is a German sleeve. This got to #2 in Ireland, #13 in New Zealand, and in Netherlands. Netherlands, the team that play in orange in the World Cup. Don't know what accent that was. So there we go. That's a pretty standard British, really, isn't it? If you've seen it. It's got the times on here. Beware My Love is amazing, 6:23. And Let 'Em In is a short 5:06. It says made in Germany on this. Great track. I like it when Paul does this in concert. When are you going to play the UK, Paul? When are you going to play the UK, Paul? When are you going to play the UK, Paul? This is one of my favourite sleeves. So maybe I'm amazed, off the McCartney album, was never released as a single, but it was released in February 77, a live version from the Wings Over America triple album. But look at this Japanese sleeve, isn't it fantastic? Maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Look, is that where Paul sits down? Does he do Yesterday then? Or does he get the rhythm box out and do Bluebird? I've just seen a face I can't forget. Beautiful sleeve. On the back of this Japanese one as well, you've got the lyrics. You've got Maybe I'm Amazed and Soily lyrics on it. Soily, if Paul plays again, he will play again. I want him to do Soily. You must do Soily. What a song. And what I've loved they've done here, just like on the album, if you've got the album as well. So that's Maybe I'm Amazed and Soily. Beautiful Japanese sleeve there. Maybe I'm Amazed. I'm trying to think whether the studio version, the first time it was on an album, was it on Wingspan, I guess? It must have been something like that. Yeah, maybe Wingspan, because that live version, say it was Wings Over America, was it on Wings Greatest? I don't know. There's been quite a few cool compilations. It gets confusing which tracks are on which. I mean, Wingspan's obviously only got Wings songs on, hasn't it? That's why it hasn't got No More Lonely Nights on. Or Coming Up. Because they're Wings songs. Or Take It Away. What? Next track here. Next single. Mull of Kintyre, released in November 77, when punk was gigantic throughout the world, especially United Kingdom. This was #1 in the UK for 9 weeks. It sold 2 million copies and eclipsed every single Beatles single sales in the UK, backed with Girls' School. In the States, Girls' School was played. In the UK, Mull of Kintyre. And in fact, Mull of Kintyre was the biggest selling British single until charity singles come along. So it was topped by Band Aid and Elton John's tribute to Princess Diana. Mull of Kintyre and Girls' School on Capitol. Now, I wish there was a video made for Girls' School. Has anyone ever seen a video? Wings never performed Girls' School live. That's another one, Paul. That's another one I want you to do live when you play United Kingdom. Girls' School. What was the other one? And Soily on a bit of beef and rock. Play some tracks from the Wings time that we all really want to hear. So Mull of Kintyre only got to number 33 in the US. However, around the world, it was super gigantic. #1 in Australia, Austria, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, Holland, Ireland, New Zealand. It got to #2 in South Africa, #5 in España, and #2 in Norway. Mull of Kintyre, monster hit, a non-album single again. Didn't appear on an album until Wings' Greatest. Now we're going into 1978. Guess what this is? Da, 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 da. You guessed it. My impersonations are brilliant. With a Little Luck, backed with Backwards Traveller and Cufflink from the London Town album. This is a German sleeve, so you got Linda, Paul and Denny there. When he was making the album, other Wings, when they recorded the album, Wings members left. Jimmy McCulloch left to go and join the Faces, no doubt because he thought it'd be more fun, bless him. This was UK #5, another US #1 for Paul. Released in March 78. It was #1 in Canada, 17 in Germany, 3 in Ireland, 6 in Norway, and number 11 in Australia, and some writing Italia in Austria and Italia. So that's With a Little Luck. We got a lovely one there. That's when it's Silver Rain isn't always falling down on London Town, though it does a lot. So you got it looking sunny and nice there, and on the back you got Backwards Traveller and Cufflink. Again, those B-sides are on the London Town album. But the first single usually does well because the single usually precedes the album by a week or two. So people will buy the single, they like the single, then they'll get the album. But the following singles didn't do so well because even though London Town didn't perform brilliantly, sales worldwide, it was a bit of a come down from the last Wings album, Speed of Sound. I didn't release anything in 77 apart from Mull of Kintyre because Linda had little baby James in her tummy. Bless him. Hello, James. And that James. And your dad. Next single here, I've Had Enough. I like the cover, but it doesn't tell you much. If you saw that in the shop, would you know that's Paul McCartney? Would you know that's Wings? It's a bit scary, isn't it? Sometimes I think this song's written by Paul's had enough of being in Wings, which you think he might get rid of the band. Oops, he did, didn't he? So that's I've Had Enough and Deliver Your Children, both tracks from London Town album. This didn't do well either. Did I just show these? So the standard again, Bridge in London. Is it London Bridge? Is it Tower Bridge? I'm confusing myself now. Backed with Deliver Your Children. Both lovely tracks, but both on the album, and the singles didn't do that good. So I've Had Enough only got to UK 42, US 25, Dutch 13, and Canada 24. I do like the sleeve, but there's nothing on it to say that it's Wings. This is a great track. This is what an album, a single cover should be. It's got all the information on there. Wings, London Town, back with I'm Carrying. This didn't do good either. In the UK, it was released in August 78. Only got to number 60. In Canada, it got to 43, and in the US, it got to 39. But if you had the single, if you had the album, why would you want to buy... sorry, there's London Town. I reversed it. Now it's looking grey in London Town, and the B-side I'm Carrying looks sunny. Why would you want to buy that single if you got the album? I know some fans buy everything, and why not if you can afford it? But if it was a different B-side, it would have sold better. But I'm not a record executive. Moving into 79 now. Wings haven't got long left. The disco classic, Don't Say It Goodnight Tonight, released in March 79. This is a French single. This was released on the Fall's first 12-inch, but it wasn't on an album till All the Best. This was UK number 5 and an American number 5. Canada number 2, 6 in Australia. Germany number 34. Ireland number 9. Italy number 4. New Zealand number 6. And Norway number 9. This is a nice sleeve. Look at this Parlophone one there. That's different, isn't it? And it has got the time on. As I say, this is French, so this is what it looked like in France. And I like the fact it's got a star on. It is great to see all these different labels and sleeves from around the world, because it's an expensive hobby collecting Beatles stuff and McCartney stuff, especially the last few years. Sticking with 1979, the lead track, the first track that was released off the Back to the Egg album. Now that says who it is. Wings, Old Sam Sir, back with Spin It On. The LP came out in June 79, as did the single, and this got to number 35 in the UK and 29 in Ireland. I'll just show the back of it. That's Old Siam Sir. The other side is Spin It On. So I don't have to take it out of the sleeve to show you. Again, these are all nice thick card. As I say, my name is Dino Veruca. I'm on Facebook. Join my Coming Up Paul McCartney Facebook page. Please subscribe to this and like it and leave comments. I like interaction. And if you've got this McCartney box set, this way up it says, if you've got the singles box set, then join an exclusive group I've got called Paul McCartney Group 3000 on Facebook, just for people who've got it. I want to know who got what test pressing. I want to know what number you've got. I want to know who's got number 1. Sticking with 79. Say You Don't Love Him, My Salamander. Baby's Request, released in June 79, US number 20. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. It was, yes, US number 20. UK only got to number 60. Australia 57. Canada 18. Ireland 24 and Holland 29. Getting Closer with Baby's Request. I love Getting Closer. I like how Wings seem to start rocking. London Town was a bit tame and mellow for me, but with Back to the Egg, they rocked again. I like that. Look, if you do it that way, normally I just flip it round, it goes, but Getting Closer, just sunny side up, easy side up, whatever they call it. I don't get what the cover's about. Maybe you can tell me. What's that got to do with Getting Closer? That's not even a salamander. I believe it's a lobster. What's that about? Baby's Request. You see that bass there that Linda's playing? I think that was the one Linda got for Paul, that used to be Bill Black from Elvis's band, the Jordanaires. Baby's Request on B-side. I don't like Baby's Request. Shouldn't be on the Back to the Egg album. Sorry, it just shouldn't. Which brings you to the point. When's Back to the Egg Deluxe coming out? When's the archive coming out, Paul? When? MPL. When is Back to the Egg archive coming out? And London Town. And Press to Play as well. They weren't the top sellers of Paul's, but fans want them and they'll buy them. Like they have this single set. This is another stunning sleeve as well. Look at this for a Japanese Arrow Through Me. How gorgeous is that? This got to number 29 in the US and 27 in Canada. And on the B side, the Japanese do things so well. They're so efficient. You got the lyrics in Japanese and English. So if you can read Japanese, I'm not even going to do a Japanese impersonation. If you can read English, you've got that. And you've got the cover of the Back to the Egg album. Quite brilliant, that. Arrow Through Me, back with Old Siam Sir. I never bought Old Sam Sir when it came out. I didn't collect McCartney stuff then, but I got it from a local shop round the corner, and they used to sell singles at ex-jukebox ones. So I remember buying Old Siam Sir. I adore Old Siam Sir, but that's not Old Siam Sir. That's Arrow Through Me. Okay, we're getting near to wrapping up. As I said, this is just the 1970s. Are going through the Paul McCartney singles box set. And as I said, you do get a fantastic book as well. Beautiful book, incredible photos, memories of Paul about the singles, telling you the release dates and everything, how long they last for, who wrote it, who produced it. And in the back, there's a lot of interesting stuff as well. And it tells you why each single is released and possibly wasn't released before. You find a lot of fascinating stuff. So as you can see, it's Christmas time. Wrong song. What way can you finish? Oh, oh, oh. I do go on a bit, don't I? Let's finish now. It's the end of 1970s. Paul releases Wonderful Christmas Time, backed with Oh dear, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae. Oh dear. Released in November '79. This is massive in the UK. In the UK, Christmas songs or Christmas singles used to do really well. A lot of people don't like it. It's just a great, fun, cheesy pop song for Christmas. What's wrong with that? I'd like to know. UK number 6, US 28. But around the world, Italy number 68. Mamma mia, buon Natale. Hungary. What number did it get to? I've written here, I can't even read my writing. I think number 8. Well done, Modjas. Belgium, 28. Australia, it's a nice number 10. No, it's not. Austria's number 10. Australia's number 38. Canada, number 18. Denmark, number 30. Sweden, 13. Latvia, 10. And the good old Polski is number 41. So well done, everyone, on buying Wonderful Christmas Time. Saw Paul do this live in the 2000s. I think it's actually better live than it was in the studio. And you get all the lights and all the snowflakes and everything. Incredible. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae. I'm just looking at the credits of that. So there's actually credits on here who wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae. Johnny Marks. Mr. Marks, can you find for me? No, I mustn't jump forward. That is the end, my friend. That is the Paul McCartney singles box set from the 70s. That's what it says on the crate. McCartney Productions Limited. So thank you for joining. My name is Dino. I'm on Facebook. I've got a coming up Paul McCartney group. Come and join that. And if you do have the box set, then come and join Paul McCartney Group 3000, which just for members. As I say, I want to know all these test pressings out. I want to know who's got what number. I want to know if there's oddities in anyone's box set or anything is different. It's a beautiful box set, fantastically made. Shame mine's damaged, and one of my records has got a sticker thing on, so I can't play it inside as well. But with a lavish box set like this, you're bound to have things go wrong. You know, live and let live, as they say. They do say something like that. Just what oddity, I was just saying about 1979. Now, Rockestra Theme was released in France with Old Siam Sir. I've never seen that sleeve. That would have been nice to be in here. But Paul does say in the book, it isn't fully comprehensive, isn't absolutely everything. He's selective on what is issued. But it shows how prolific he was in the 70s to have 29 7-inch singles in there. Pretty stunning, isn't it? And in the 1980s, there were 20 singles. So the 1980s will be the next one. Thank you for watching. My name is Dino. Take care. Merry Crimble to you and a gooey new year. I shall be back. Cool t-shirt, isn't it? It's an original one. It just fits me. Got to keep slim. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment. And let me know what you might possibly like me to do besides shut up and talking. Take care. See you all soon. Ciao. Right, I can get this off now, can't I? Oh, I'm still recording. Bye.